Yo, what's going on guys? Chris Ramsay here, welcome back. Today I wanted to quickly interject my thoughts on the whole AGT, BGT, Fool Us, all these TV shows that are incorporating and that are showcasing magic and sort of my thoughts on them and where I stand. Now before I get into anything, I just want to say that a lot of my friends, really close friends of mine, have been on all of these shows or are going to be on these shows. And I'm super proud of them and I'm really happy for their success. And I want them to keep growing and I want them to have a healthy and sustainable career in magic, and this is kind of why I made this video. A lot of my viewers have asked me, will I ever go on AGT or will I ever go on Fool Us? I'm going to tell you why I won't, and this is why. Some of you may know I was on Penn & Teller's show called Wizard Wars a few years ago. That video can't be found on YouTube, I don't think. I think you can search it on iTunes or whatever. But that kind of gave me a taste of what TV magic is like and what these shows actually do for magicians. The problem I have with contest or talent shows is just that, is that we're looking at a contest and we're competing. I believe that magic can be an art form. I don't believe that it always is, and I don't believe that, I just believe that it can be. And I don't think that these platforms showcase magic in a way that lends itself to an art form. I think that because it becomes more of a competitive nature, which is very westernized, there's this very big competitive field within the arts. Who's better? Who's the better magician? And if you're performing and a working magician, you'll get this 9 times out of 10 and be like, oh my God, you're amazing. Or, do you know Chris Angel? He's incredible. Or you see that dude on AGT with the coins? I've gotten that recently so many times. Will, I actually know Will, not personally. We've chatted online a few times. And since his video went up, like everywhere I go, it's the new thing to ask me is like, did you see this thing, right? Which is incredible, which is awesome to me. Like to think that his performance just traveled the globe 10 times over and everybody knows about it. So that's a really cool thing. The downside with that, in my opinion, is that, the faster you go up, the faster you come down. And not saying that this will happen, and I'm not wishing it in any way on Will or on anyone else and any of the other contestants, but what I'm saying is that naturally there is only one sort of winner, right? To these, there's only a first place. And let me ask you, 4 years ago, who won 6th place on AGT, right? Without Googling it. Who won 3rd place 2 years ago? Again, we're left with, I don't know, I'd have to look into it. There's so much out there. There's so many competing magicians on this platform now that it's become this crazy sort of frenzy for which magician is the greatest. So that's sort of one reservation that I have with it, is that we're all fighting for like the first place, who's the best magician. Although we're not, TV producers and the TV networks are making it seem that way, that there's a better magician, right? When it comes to art and performance art, you can't say that someone is better than another, right? His vision might be completely different. It's, you're putting two people in a category where what they're performing is completely different. So unless they're performing the exact same act, you can't really say one is better than the other. The second sort of reservation that I have with it is that Steve Martin said this, and this is a really smart thing. He said, magic is the only talent you can buy. It's, to a certain extent, that is very true. You can go to a magic shop, buy self-working tricks, perform it to someone who's never seen magic before, and they will swear you're the greatest magician they've ever seen because you're the only magician they've ever seen. So again, which leaves me in a place where you see these acts on AGT and BGT, and some of them, have worked super hard on their performance and their acting and the tricks, and have created this original piece of magic, which is really great to watch. And then other people are just literally, you're like, really? Really, dude? That's like, really? And then he gets a standing O, and the video went viral. A lot of magicians will be like, whoa, he just used a thumb tip, or he just used this and that, right? Which is not my place to say. He had the balls to go out there and perform it in front of millions of people. That takes a lot of guts in itself, so hats off. I don't care if you're doing Ambitious Card or anything else. Hats off to you for putting yourself out there. One of the problems with putting yourself out there is that you have no control what these TV production companies do with your name or your image. And so for myself, I'd like to think that I've been carefully curating my content and sort of building a brand, if you can say that, around myself for these past few years. And to put all that into a production company's hands who knows nothing about me, who doesn't care about my ambition, doesn't care about my goals, who only care about ratings for a TV show, is very scary to me. And I'm very apprehensive about who I leave in charge and who I let manage my image. Right? I'll tell you a bit of a story. I get TV producers, especially for AGT, contact me about half a dozen times a year. Every single year, about a half a dozen times at least, I get different producers on the show hit me up, say, you would be great, and they really try to lay it on thick. Like, we know you can win. And that's their job, to try and convince me, that I'm gonna win, right? But they're also pitching this to 1,000 other magicians, and they just, they're throwing them into the meat grinder, right? You may know I'm Canadian, so I don't have a work visa. I can't work legally in the States. I can go there for conventions, I can hang out with friends, but I can't legally work in the United States. And so when this TV producer hit me up and he's like, hey, you'd be great for AGT, I told him, like, well, I don't have a work visa. Are you guys going to pay $7,000 of lawyer fees to get me a work visa? And they said no, obviously. They're like, we can put in a letter of recommendation, right? So I have to do the legwork, I have to throw down the money to get that. Let's say I don't have that money, but I want to be on this show because they want me to be in the first round. So they told me that I could do the first round, but if I didn't have my visa, if I didn't have my papers, they would have to cut me. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, let me get this straight. I can have the best performance AGT's ever seen. I'm not saying that I will, I'm not saying that I could create something like that, but let's say, hypothetically, that I created the most amazing TV act TV has ever aired in their entire life. But I don't have a work visa and they have to cut me. Well, now they have to justify cutting me, right? So let's say I get a standing O on stage and everybody's going nuts for me, but they can't put me on. Do you think that they're going to air that standing O? Do you think that they're going to, no, they have to justify cutting me somehow. So they're gonna cut my performance in a way that makes it justifiable for them to say, close but no cigar, you're not making it to the next round. I'm letting my whole life, my livelihood, and everything I've worked towards in the hands of a few people who don't really care about me that much, right? And that frightens me to no end. It really terrifies me, because what I'm trying to build on this platform, on YouTube, is a sustainable relationship, something that can withstand the test of time and something that evolves and grows. And I have a conversation with my viewers. We have a sort of trust build up. We have this thing that we're creating together, and that's, I don't know where it's going to lead, but it's flourishing and it's growing into this beautiful thing that I really love and enjoy. And to leave all that into someone else's hands and take a chance like that, when it might bomb, it might, it just, for me, doesn't make that much sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. I would rather get 1 million views over 10 years, this way, than get 10 million views in a year doing that, right? So I'm just trying to build this sustainable relationship on this platform that I love. I'd much rather be this, this long burning fire than a firework that blows up and then fizzles out. So that's kind of my thought on the whole thing. And again, it's not that I'm against people performing on AGT. I truly wish them well, but the odds are that not everybody's gonna win, right? And so they have to throw them under a bus somehow. Well, how are they gonna throw them under a bus? They gotta get creative with that, and that's out of your hands. As a performer, that's not in your hands. That's the production team. That's the network. That's these people playing with, and they don't care about magic ethics. They don't care about anything like that. Like, you've seen the stories where someone's stolen an act and the producers have stolen an act from this guy and given it to this person and all that. Again, they don't care about ethics. They just want the best TV show possible for the best ratings, right? So there's this girl on BGT, Issy Simpson. She's like a 9-year-old and she's doing magic, and I think she's incredible. I think she's she's better than 90% of the performers I've seen on TV. She has stage presence and she knows her lines. She's adorable. She's fun to watch, right? But again, she has this great production team behind her and this great team of possibly consultants helping her out and everything, and uplifting this girl to put her on this platform, right? And I'm just thinking, like, I hope this goes well for her. I really, truly do, because I would hate to see all this drama and all this, TV bullshit affect this girl negatively in some way. Some scandal arises, or they need it for the ratings, so they're gonna make her bomb because they need to they need to push up this other act that they see, who's, you know, and that's the way TV works. And I'm just terrified for this girl. I'm terrified for my friends who are on the show, and I'm not being paranoid. It's just the way that TV works. It's the way that Hollywood works, right? And it shouldn't come as a surprise to many of you that this talent show or these talent shows don't really care about showcasing the talent. They care about the ratings, obviously, right? So the talent is secondary, and for me, that's the talent is primary, right? And so that's my sort of reservation with the whole TV magic thing in a contest form. I'm truly skeptical about anybody toying with something that I've built for so many years. Now, if you're new to magic, or if you're not online, you don't have a platform such as this one, or you're trying to get yourself out there, AGT is a great way for you to break through. You know, you can get TV deals there. You can get you probably get booked by like universities and colleges, or corporate or private shows. You know, the offspring of a potential viral video on these shows is incredible. You can really garnish a great sort of following based on that. However, my following has already sort of built itself, and I don't need 10 million followers, you know, who care about me one day and then don't care about me the next day. I'd rather have 280,000 followers who care about everything I put out, or at least, you know, a large percentage of it. For me, that building that sustainable relationship within a platform that I have full control over, full artistic, creative freedom and direction in, is much more important to me than one viral video. Do I want my videos to go viral? Yeah, sure I do. But am I willing to let another production company handle the way that might potentially go viral? I don't think so. I would rather have full control on that. And I think I've gotten to a point where I'm very satisfied with my production quality, and I'm, you know, well, very satisfied. I'm always looking to improve, but I'm very conscious of what I want to put out there. And I'm conscious of how I want it to look. And I'm aware that if I did things differently, it could go super viral, right? I could create content that just goes apeshit viral online. But I would have to forego my ethics and morality. I want to try to kind of find a middle ground to where I don't neglect how I feel about the art that I love, but that also reaches people outside of the art form, lay people, for example. How to do that, and that's the challenge, right? But that's sort of what I'm trying to create, is that middle ground. And it's not the most popular thing in the world. This video won't go viral, people won't see this, and, you know, lay people probably won't see this, but I know that. I'm aware that this goes out to a specific audience, and if I wanted it to go out to a broader audience, you know, I might make some outrageous claims, or I might make this video super dramatic, or call out some people by names, or some production companies, or, you know, and I could do that. But to sustain this, what I have, this platform, and it's growing at a nice rate, and I really enjoy collaboration within YouTube and the sort of YouTube magic community. I really think that it's a really special community that, you know, we're super supportive. 99% of people on my videos that comment, it's all super supportive, and they help each other out in the comments and stuff, and I really enjoy that. But for that to continue to grow, you know, I can't let go of what my sort of moral standards are towards the issue. And I hope I made myself clear. I know this is a lot of gray area in here, but I feel very strongly about that, and it's, you know, I just kind of want to put my opinion down on a video and have that out there and take form. That being said, you know, I have a friend of mine, Eric Jones, who's going to be on AGT tonight, and I wish him all the luck in the world. I hope, I hear it went very well, but I'm just looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, the reactions. He's a friend of mine. He's an incredible magician, and it's not somebody who just bought, you know, a trick and then performed it on TV and got a standing O. I know that he put years and years of practice into mastering his craft, and then so I'm excited to seeing that. But again, you know, I'm also fearful because he is going up against competitors who the production companies might find better suit their agenda and that type of thing. So I'm just apprehensive is all. I'm not being paranoid. The Illuminati is real. But those are just my thoughts. I just love magic so much, and I love being part of this community. I want it to last forever. I just don't want it to fizzle out and die as quickly as it rose. So those are my thoughts. Anyways, I'm gonna enjoy my coffee now, edit this video, and then go about my day and planning out some more. This is my schedule. As you can see, it's blank right now, but I'm preparing the month of July. June is over for me. So July is being prepared, videos, content. Thanks for sticking along for the ride. And thanks for supporting me and this channel and being a positive community in a community that might need more positivity. Let me know your thoughts about AGT and Fool Us and all that. Let me know your thoughts below. I'd love to see how you feel as a magician or as a hobbyist or as a layperson about this whole situation, about how, you know, where is this going? How is this going to affect magic in the future? How has it affected it already? Is it going to change? Is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to read some of those. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Go ahead and like this video if you did, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.